Hey guys, what's happening? This is Forgo Nation. Today, we're gonna do a little Nick Fury gameplay and a little bit of a review. This is the team we're gonna be running with, you guys. We're gonna use White Fox for her support, which increases damage dealt to supervillain types by 60%, and we're gonna use Coulson for his increased damage dealt to supervillains by 45%, and he increases guaranteed critical rate by 20%. Now let's take a look at my man, Nick Fury! So happy this guy's in the game now, you guys. He is freaking pretty sweet. Now I have the uni, but first we're just going to take a look at him without the uni. As you guys can see, the build is 17,000 physical attack. He has a almost max attack speed, 36 critical rate, 189 critical damage, 48% ignore defense, and max skill cooldown. And as you guys can see, he does have the leadership. Get out of here. All of his gears are at 20. He has no Urus. And all of his skills are level 6. Now let's take a look at these things. His passive has super armor, which is awesome. He can't be guard broken by basic attacks. And he increases damage dealt to supervillain types by 50%. That is nuts! His 1 has a stun with a missing attack. Meh. His 2 has a guard hit for 5 hits for 4 seconds. I really wish this was a little bit more, but it's okay. Good for Shadowland, pretty much useless against World Boss. Guard is not very good against World Bosses, you guys. 3, the 3 skill has a bind, good for Shadowland, not worth the crap for World Bosses. His passive removes all debuffs for 2 seconds on a 15-second cooldown. Yes, it's okay. I mean, it definitely could be better. His 4 has a stun for 3 seconds, good for Shadowland, not worth the crap for World Boss. And his 5 has a huge all attack buff by 80%. That is insane. And all defense by 20%, and all speed by 20% also for 7 seconds. And this is on a 16-second cooldown, so you'll pretty well keep this up most of the time. And his leadership has a 50% increased all attack. Now I have Power of Angry Hulk. The ideal ISO 8 set would be Overdrive or Hawk's Eye if you need the skill cooldown. I have a critical damage obelisk with all defense, and it's just 140% proc, guys. I just want to test them, play around. So I usually just put a low proc on a character first to see how good they are or how they're not very good. But this is what we're going to run with. Now, let's take a look at this uniform. Now, on the uniform, his passive increases damage dealt to villains by 55%. So he gets a 5% boost. It's okay. His 1, pretty much the same as 2. Now his 2 has a decrease all defenses. Only for 5 seconds. That kind of sucks. And there's something else that sucks about it. And we'll get to that when we preview the skill. His 3, pretty much the same, nothing really different. Wait a minute. Shock damage? Let's see if his 3 deals shock damage. Let's look at that. Yeah, that's pretty much the same. Okay. Alright. Whoa, 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 whoa. We're getting a little crazy here. Okay. So his passive, same. His 4, the same. And his 5, the same. So honestly, guys, all you're gaining is this 2% or 20% decrease of all defenses for 5 seconds, and you're gaining this 5% increase to supervillains. So I don't know about all that. If we preview the skill, we'll hit the 5 here, and this is that big all attack buff. Now this skill you can cancel. So what I like to do is I like to hit the 5, and as soon as the shield barrier shows up, I hit the 4. And this is your main damage dealing skill right here. This is the skill you want to proc on, is that 4. Look at this thing. It is insane. Let's do that again. It is insane, you guys. And it's the same with or without the uni. It doesn't matter. And you'll see that in the gameplay. But one difference between the uni and no uni is, here we have the uni, and the 2 has the 20% decrease of all defense. Now watch this. Do it again. So Captain Marvel comes down, but you can't cancel the decrease all defense. You have to let it play out. Boom! Now the decrease all defense is up. So it kind of sucks, because if you like the rotation I like to go is I like to use the 5 for that big all attack buff, that huge all attack, 80% all attack buff. And then I would like to cancel into the 2 to get the all defense down, but the problem is because it takes a little bit for the all defense down to engage, the proc will come early and you won't get it on the 4, so you'll lose a lot of damage. So unfortunately, this decrease all defenses isn't really that useful, guys. It's not, I mean, it really doesn't. I mean, if you can proc it to where you'll get the 5, the 2, and then the 4 and proc on the 4, that would be great. But I find that a lot of times the proc comes early on the frickin' 2. So that kind of sucks. And his 1 has a nice little partial iframe, and his 3 has a kind of a partial iframe as well. So we'll get out of here. And something else, guys, you know, on his with the uni, Captain Marvel comes down, but without the uni, let's preview this again. Without the uni, it's Coulson. So we'll hit the 2 here, we'll hit the 5. So it's pretty much the same thing, guys. We'll hit the 4, gets on the turret, starts shooting everybody. Awesome. The 2, now Coulson comes in and starts shooting, so you don't have Captain Marvel coming in. That's the big difference, and there's no all defense down. But like I said, guys, if I can't cancel that 2 skill, then and get the all defense down, then it's kind of useless to me. It doesn't really work out. And like I said before, if you play and you're able to time the proc to where you can get the all defense down before the 4 skill, you're doing good. But the problem is it only lasts for 5 seconds, and you really want that all attack buff. That 80% all attack buff I would prioritize over the 20% decrease all defense down on the 2. So I prefer to go the 5 into the 4. That's just what I like to do. Maybe some of you guys would like to do something different. The 1, pretty much the same thing. And the 3, pretty much the same thing. So let's get out of here. Okay, you guys, so let's take old boy into stage 40 Proxima without the uni and with the uni. And let's see how he does. Let's rock and roll. So now we're going to do this without the uni first. And honestly, guys, this is the look I prefer anyways. I like the eye patch look way more than his young look. But that's just me. So we're going to hit that 5, go into the 4, and look at this damage from this dude. I mean, this is stage 40. No Urus and 140% damage proc. This is freaking nuts. This guy is strong. Now I'm going to tell you where he's weak, and that's his survivability, guys. His defenses are terrible. He's a glass cannon if I ever seen one. He does have the partial iframes on the 1 and 3, but man, if he gets hit, he takes a tremendous amount of damage. I mean, he can die easily, so you got to play with some finesse. And against Proxima, something I didn't even mention this in the skill previews a minute ago, but when you hit the 5, you get this 1-second immunity. Well, that shield is a barrier, kind of similar to Wasp, where if you stay in it, you'll always have the immunity up. But if you go outside of the dome, then you'll lose the immunity. Now, against Proxima, it doesn't really matter because whether you have immunity or you don't, if you're standing in front of her, guys, she has Pierce effect and she will kill you anyways. The immunity doesn't really do you much good against Proxima. It's really better to have iframes, to be honest. But against Corvus, then it would be better. Then the immunity would prevent you from getting bleed or prevent you from dying. So that's something to think about. You got to keep them in that shield, in that dome, if you want to keep the immunity up. So the skills are a little misleading. They say 1 second, but actually this immunity stays up the entire time you're in it. So that's pretty awesome. I mean, that. So he does have good better survivability in a different world boss, but against Proxima, it's just, it's a little tricky keeping him alive. You know, you're really hoping that old Scarlet will come in here and sue and charm and mind control, so you can blow the living crap out of Proxima, literally with that turret. That thing is awesome. I am loving this thing. Now, I'm not going to finish this fight at all, you guys. We're just going to go down to maybe 3 bars or something, and then I'll switch to with the uni. But man, he's a monstrosity. He is strong. Now the thing that sucks is, you know, I mean, he's got that 50% all attack. He's got that 50% damage dealt to supervillains. So that's it's insane. It really is. But you know, most of us aren't going to use White Fox and Coulson, and we'll use one support with them, but we probably don't want to use two. Some people don't have the kind of rosters that maybe people like me have, and so that's something. I mean, but I can't deny the power of this guy. I mean, he is just, he's strong, guys. He has got some serious DPS. This is impressive that he's able to do this. This is freaking nutso. I'm using a White Fox to get some charm in there. That way I can bring Nick back in there and blow her all to hell. And remember, the 2 skill doesn't have an all defense down without the uni, but you'll see in the gameplay in the next round that I don't really use the 2 skill because it leaves you vulnerable and the proc wants to come early, so I don't really use it. Maybe later on in a different video you will see me use it. Maybe I'll figure out a better way of doing it. Or if you guys have an idea, I'm glad to listen and check that and try that out as well. Whoa, 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 get out of there, get out of there. Oh, Proxy trying to take me out. Oh, freaking heifer. That's alright. But I'm pretty happy with Nick, you guys. I think he's pretty freaking awesome. I think he's super strong. He's got an amazing Tier 2 passive because he gives that super armor to all hero allies. The damage dealt to super villains, I mean, it's just bonkers. Plus he has the 50% all attack that applies to all allies as well for leadership. I mean, it's nuts. And you guys can see, man, he cannot take a whole lot of damage. He can't. It's tough. It is tough. But we're going to be cutting it short pretty soon here. Oh yeah, we're going to charm old girl again. Yeah, let's get her. Man, he's bonkers damage. Woo-wee. Okay, pretty sure I'm going to bite it, so we're just going to stop it there, guys. So let's go on to with the uni. Okay, so here we have the uni. We're going to do the same thing, guys. We're going to start with that 5, and then we're going to cancel into the 4 and try to get that damage proc on the 4. Here we go. Now look at this damage. Oh yeah. Now, he's got more damage, guys, because he's getting that 15% all attack from the uniform. And that's really what's helping him. It's just the stat increases is really what's helping him. And he's got that extra 5% damage dealt to supervillain types with the uni. I mean, that helps. 5% isn't a whole lot, but it is something. Do I think the uni is worth it? I don't know, guys. I mean, right now at this point, I'm not sure. I think maybe I need to figure out a better rotation to where I can get that frickin' 2 involved. Because like I said, man, you see right there, the proc came right there when I hit the 4. If I'd have hit that 2, the proc would have came early. That sucks, man. You don't want to lose the proc on the 4. But maybe if there's like a second left on the proc and I can hit the 5 and then hit the 2 and then go into the 4, if I can time that, that would probably be pretty cool. That would probably work out pretty good. I'm going to have to tinker with his rotation a little bit. I'm going to have to play with him a little bit. There's a chance I might equip an obelisk with some ignore dodge or something and then try him against Corvus and see how he does there. Because he is a speed character and they do have the advantage against Corvus. So I'm really curious how he can do against that. But today I just thought we'd test a little bit against Proxima. Because Proxima's tough. And if you can do clears against Proxima, then that says a hell of a lot about the character in my opinion. I love the jets flying around. That's freaking cool. And that's the thing, guys. When you go from the 5 into the 4, you get the residual damage from the planes from the 5. And then when you go into the 4, you got that turret shooting. So you get both of them at the same time. And the damage is just bonkers, man. Look at that, guys. Over a full bar in stage 40. And all I did was equip the uni. And again, I don't know if the uni is going to be worth it. Look, guys, it's a matter of opinion. Do I think it's worth it? Honestly, not really. So far, but I haven't really mastered a rotation for him yet. I'm not, the rotation I'm doing, I'm tinkering with it right now. I'm not really 100% sure. I know you want that proc on that 4, and I know you want to hit that all attack before it. You want that all attack up, and since the all attack only lasts for 7 seconds, it's kind of tricky. Plus, the 4 has a huge cooldown. I mean, look there, you got 13 seconds. I mean, it's freaking nuts, man. So maybe you could hit the go 5-4, and then later on you try to get the proc on the 5 alone, and I don't know. I'm gonna have to play with this. I'm gonna have to play with this. That long cooldown on the 4 is tricky. It is tricky, but we're not going to finish this fight, guys. I have other clears that I want to use White Fox for, so I'm not going to clear this, but we're going to take old girl down to 1 bar. And look at the time, guys. This is something about the uni. He's doing it way faster. So there you have it. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. Y'all take care and have a good one.